Hello, this is not the person you were trying to call. You've reached the rejection hotline. Unfortunately, the person who gave you this rejection hotline number did not want you to have their real number. We know this sucks, but don't be too devastated. So why were you given a rejection hotline number? Maybe you're just not this person's type. No, this could mean boring, dumb, annoying, arrogant, or just a general weirdo. Maybe you suffer from bad breath, body odor, or a nasty combination of the two. Regardless of the reason, please take the hint, accept the fact that you were rejected, and then get over it. And please do your best to forget about the person who gave you this number, because trust us, they've already forgotten about you.
Well, I guess we're on our own now. In the beginning, there was God. What is going on? And God was one. But God had a problem. The only problem that God could have. God could do anything but this. And that was, well, God didn't have any friends. So God was a bit lonely. Frown. But then God had an idea. I am God. I can do whatever I want. So he turned that frown upside down and split himself in two. Sorry, I meant to use gender neutral pronouns. So God went from one to two. And then there was a mommy God and there was a daddy God. And they loved each other very much because they were meant for each other. In fact, they were actually one, appearing as two. God the Father and God the Mother, because they love each other very much, they merged back together and became one. And out of their union came a third. And that's baby God, or the universe. And so then there was three. So the one ultimate God split itself into two, God the Father and God the Mother. And because polarities attract, because in truth they're two opposites of the same one thing, there's a fundamental drive to return to unity. So they came into unity and created a new creation. Let me explain. Spring is not ideal. Let's try the blue marker. Looks like our little buddy here needs a shower. Oh yeah. For whatever reason, the blue wipes off easier. What is required for understanding? Let us look out into the universe and see what we find. So if I told you there were three things, only three things that exist in the universe, what would you say they are? I'll give you a moment. If you look out into outer space, what are the three things that you find? Planets? Wrong. You have failed me already. Well, there's the sun, so we got stars. What else is there? Correct. Space. Now can you find the last one? Is it aliens? You have disappointed me for the last time. No, black holes. Sorry. I know it's not easy because you can't see them, but let me explain. Stars are the creative force of the universe. They are what give life to all things. The planets are but recycled star material. And everything else, all the matter, is recycled star material. And we know this intuitively to be true. If stars are energy, and energy is the force of creation, what you give your energy to, that is what you create. It's also the force of life. What you give your energy to, that is what you give life to. And stars give birth, they create black holes. What are black holes? They are the destructive force of the universe. Death, entropy, chaos, order, two opposite forces. So, at the center of every galaxy, there is a supermassive black hole in which all matter is slowly being consumed. It is the death force of the universe. And every moment stars are exploding all over the place, spreading their guts throughout the universe. Creating new stars, creating new planets, creating new black holes all the time. Spirit of the universe, this universe at least, is the Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail, because the universe is in a constant state of creation and destruction. Look familiar? So, as we reverse engineer the universe, you might see something interesting. Well, positivity and negativity are not different things. They are two opposites of the same one thing, same in value, opposite in degree, negativity and positivity. And so, well, you get rid of these variables, simple mathematics. You combine these two forces together, the negative force and the positive force of the universe. Bam. And when you put them together, the one thing that they create is something called infinite energy. So you could say, well, dark energy is the energy gathered or created from black holes, and light energy is the energy created from the stars. But when you put them together, you create infinite energy. You can see how in the first story we went from union into separation, and now we are reverse engineering the universe to go from separation back to unity, explaining the story in a way that not even the most atheist to the bone could deny. Why is it infinite energy? Because you have a force going downward and in, and a force going upward and out. So you have a force going in all possible directions. It is infinite, but, well, before I go into that, so we have two things that are left. Space and infinite energy. But what is space? Space is emptiness. It's nothingness. So we could give space the value of 0 because, well, that's what it is. And if you notice something interesting here, infinity is just 0 with a little twist in the middle. So you have these two remaining elements in the universe, space and infinite energy. Or you could say infinite nothingness and infinite everythingness. But what you may have guessed is that, oh, wait a minute, these two are not separate things, but they are two opposites of the same one thing. Equal in value, but opposite in degree. Infinite nothingness, infinite everythingness, which means that they can be combined together. In other words, 0 can be divided by infinity one time, and that equals the universe. But you may have asked, well, how did we get here? This symbol right here is the universe before the Big Bang. After the Big Bang, things went from unity into separation. In other words, we went from 1, then 2, to 3, to 4, all the way down to infinity. The universe is fundamentally numbers, math, which means that we can understand it in a logical and mathematical way. You see, this side of the equation is God the Father. It's the divine intelligence of existence itself. And this right here is the womb of the universe, the space, the vessel in which existence takes place. Now, what you see is that this symbol with the circle and the infinity in it, it's not just a symbol. It's a literal image of what the universe was like as it was being created. Let me show you. Because, okay, if existence is mathematical, which means it's logical, which means that we can understand it in a logical way, it's not just random. It means that in order to find the cause, we must look at the effect. And the effect is what we just went through, the different elements of existence, putting the pieces back together, back to unity, the beginning. You could say a moment before the Big Bang. So we can assume, logically speaking, here, let's do this. You can look at this as the seed of the universe. And then the seed cracked open. But how does this even make sense? What caused the Big Bang? Well, it's exactly what I explained in the first story. You see, because we know for a fact of these different elements, we can see them, and when we put these pieces back together, we get this, the totality of everything. So we can assume that, okay, wait a minute, there must have been a logical sequence of events that led us to this. And what were those logical sequence of events? You have the all, which is a reflection of this, unity, the one. This is also the one. Now, of course, this is cutting edge stuff. Forgive me for my ignorance, okay? But here's one way to look at it. Imagine this is Christ. And imagine this as God the Father. This is the Son, this is the Creator. They are mirror reflections of each other. They are the same, but a little bit different. And of course, I can't just clarify every single detail. So, you can tell me how ignorant I am in the comments if you'd like. But the point is, as one, there is no experience. Because to experience something, you need two things. You need an object of your experience, and you need a subject to experience that object. If there's an object but no subject, that is the riddle. Well, if a tree falls down in the forest, does it make a sound? And people say, well, yeah, of course it makes a sound, logically speaking. But the answer is no. The tree does not make a sound because a sound is an experience. You cannot have sound without the vibration and also an ear to receive that vibration. When there is all